Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch team is here with a tropical weather update for today, Saturday, September 7th, 2024. We got quite a little bit to talk about and regarding this tropical system there in the southern Bay of Campeche. This storm in particular looks like we could see some impacts towards Texas. A lot of the models, the latest run I saw showing more of the impacts into southwest Louisiana, Cameron, Louisiana, as well as Lake Charles, Louisiana. But impacts in south central and southeast Texas also cannot be ruled out. I'll talk about this, the impacts that we could be storm areas in these areas could be seeing, as well as the timing of when this is going to happen. So overall, this is the main one I want to talk about right here. The western Gulf of Mexico has now been designated as Invest 91L. It is currently an area of low pressure. It is formed over the Bay of Campeche and is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. It's forecast to drift slowly northward over for a few days while it interacts with the frontal boundary. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form over the early to middle part next week while the system moves generally northward near or along the Mexican-Texas Gulf coastline. Interest along the western Gulf of Mexico should closely monitor the progress of the system over the next 48 hours at 50%, over the next 7 days, high 70% chance. Now going and looking at some of the analysis tools, I want to look a little bit at the ocean temperatures and everything that we have in terms of that. So, good Lord. So as you can see, Western Atlantic, right down here, we're looking 30 to 31 degrees Celsius. Generally, the entire western Gulf of Mexico is at 30 degrees Celsius. We're feeling anywhere from about 85 degrees or above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very warm sea surface temperatures with this system. Over the entire Gulf of Mexico, actually, some areas are showing 31 degrees. Alright, so here's the system right down here. It's going to kind of meander. You can kind of see a frontal boundary associated with this upper level low. Here's a frontal boundary right through here. It's going to be there for about 2.5 to almost 3 days, and still it starts to make that drift off towards the north and begin to organize rapidly. It really looks like it's going to hug the coast of Mexico and Texas. Why? Low surge of high pressure, 1022 millibars, really keeping it far off towards the west, right there along the coast of Mexico, as well as Texas. What I want to know is that begins to move off to the east. High pressure begins to shift off to the east. As that happens, this begins to turn off towards the east-north and to the northeast as well. And then it looks like a landfall there near Lake Charles. Now, the issue would be if this only doesn't move a lot and it goes directly north just to the west of Texas, Houston in the southeast counties surrounding Houston would be on the wet side, and there would be a lot of flooding, gusty winds as well. If it makes landfall at 975 to 980 millibars, make a Category 1 hurricane, I would say between 80 and 90 miles an hour at worst. But based on what we're seeing right now, high pressure is going to shift off to the east, and it's going to cause the storms to move off to the northeast because the high pressure, it's going to move around the ridge of high pressure. Just like so. And then we got some other storms that are possible that we could be seeing, but I don't want to look too far into that right now because it's not, we don't exactly know particularly how strong they'll be. So you can see there it is, 978. So we'll see how strong this gets, but really it looks like along the majority of the coastlines of Texas, southeast Texas, southwest, and even south central Louisiana will we get a majority of the heavy rain from this system. For other areas inland like Austin, I don't think Austin will see much, if any, rain. San Antonio, counties north of Houston, Conroe, areas like that, and then obviously areas farther north, away from Lake Charles, will also not see as much of that heavy rain. as well. What I mean by that, I mean into central, northern Louisiana will not see as heavy rain along the coast. We'll see quite a bit of rain, but not as much as they'll see along the immediate coast where the storm makes landfall. And look at all the models, a lot of the models. So some of the models, again, showing a landfall there. There'll be a lot of heavy rain over southeast Texas. Now again, a majority of the rain is to the north, which means it looks like, according to this model, there may even be some shear, which is pushing a majority of the convection and rain away from the center of circulation, not allowing it to intensify quickly at all. Just the big rainmaker. This is the CMC model. Looking at the Navigem, let's see what we got here. Navigem, again, core, we got a good strong core right there. Rain relatively even all the way around it. Means probably not a lot of wind shear with this storm. Now we're also going to look at upper level dynamics, just so we get it. There's no upper level dynamics with that. What does CMC does? No, not vorticity. 250 milliwatt. Oh yeah, so you can kind of see right through here where, okay, there's a system. And kind of, yeah, here's the shear. There's a little bit of shear going this direction and a little bit going this direction as well. Like a trough right through here. Just the entire Western Atlantic. There you go. Oh yeah, look at that. This is going clockwise. So this is a high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. If you get a storm sitting right underneath this, that can allow for more outflow with a super powerful storm. So that would be bad if that happened right with where this system is at. Clockwise, right. Allows for more outflow. Upper level difluence is the meteorological term for that. Which is what we saw with, I think, Hurricane Michael. We saw a lot of upper level difluence with that system. There's a little bit, but it's not super pronounced, this system at all. I want to think a little bit about the precipitation moisture here. So according to the GFS, we see impacts along southeast Texas could happen really as early as Wednesday. And then once we get into Wednesday into Thursday, overnight Thursday, where we can see some of the heaviest rain, and then possibly by 12Z Thursday, which is 7 a.m. Thursday morning, we could see that landfall. Early hours of Thursday morning, we could see that landfall there near Lake Charles, Louisiana. This is just what the model runs are currently saying. They've been all over the place. But right now, I have about 4 days. And for the sake of error in modeling, I'm going to say we have 5 days. As it may be slower, it may take longer, but I'll say no more than 5 days. No more than 5 days to prepare. So areas along the western Gulf of Mexico need to prepare, especially southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana, which is where the models have been seeming to target where the storm is going to be going. Be prepared. Have a generator ready. Be prepared for flooding. Be prepared for power outages, especially in southeast Texas. We do not do very good with power outages. I think we can all agree with that. Last time we were out for power for a little longer than we should have been. It was only a Category 1. It would have been a lot worse if it was something much more severe. Category 2, Category 3 hurricane would have been much more bad. Much more severe in terms of power outages. So, everyone, when you are if in the case that you are hunkering down for a storm, everyone needs to have a gallon of water, batteries, charged for your flashlights, or if you have a generator, make sure the generator is outside and away from the house, because carbon monoxide poisoning is very serious. It will kill you. Oh yeah, icon, one last thing. Alright. The icon looks very, very sheared because the center of the storm is right here and a lot of the convection's off to the north and to the east, it looks like. And so it doesn't look like the storm gets particularly strong at all. There's quite a lot of rain with this, so there will be quite a bit of flooding, I believe. But the storm it doesn't slow down. It keeps going, which is kind of what we want to see. This one gives it much farther away from the coast of Texas. So there wouldn't be a lot of flooding, if any rain at all. Any bits of rain for southeast Texas, which would be very good. Taking a look at the current view of the storm. That's 91. Do we have any? I don't think I have any close-ups. No, we don't have super close-ups. My mouse isn't working. Is it dead? Okay. Need to change the batteries in this anyway. So there it is. Look at that convection. Oh, there it looks like the closed low is right over here. Looks like we got an area of low pressure over here. Not a lot of convection at all. Where we see the area of low pressure spinning over the southern Bay of Campeche. Not a lot of convection at all. No convection. A lot of convection is not over the center, so it's going to spend some time trying to organize before it makes its way up to the north. Taking a look at some of the forecast models, the spaghetti model showing, again, track towards southwest Louisiana and southeast Texas. Some of them show it's going to go straight north, but because of where the high pressure moves off to the east and weakens, it will go curve around the ridge of high pressure. That's why we see this. And again, if it stays farther to the south, it means it will be farther off to the west, and we can see more impacts in the Houston area. But if it stays stronger and moves up north, it will be off towards the east, which means we could see more of a Lake Charles, Louisiana, and that would also mean that New Orleans will be on the west side. So depending on how big this storm is, will really depend on how big the storm is, how much rain Louisiana gets, particularly New Orleans, Louisiana. But if it's far enough away, New Orleans may not even get that much flooding at all. Something we're going to have to closely monitor and keep track of as the storm continues to progress. So once again, it is at a 50% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours. It is a 70% chance over the next 7 days. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, just go in the comment section. Comment any questions below. If you want to join the Hurricane Watch team, feel free. You can also join our Discord, and we will answer any questions that you have. But that is going to be it today, guys. I want to just give a quick, brief, short update about what this storm is going to be doing, where we think it's going to be going, what the impacts are going to be. That's it for today, guys. Stay safe, and we'll be doing more videos on this, hopefully, over the next several days. Haven't been very active recently over the next several days because I've been at work. They've been constantly calling me into work, so I'm going to work, trying to get those hours in. So that's been today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there, and if you have any questions, just ask. Don't ever be afraid to ask. That's it, guys. Take care.